Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk all news, comics, and media related to the Transformers. On this episode, Skybound teases the starting lineup of the Autobots in their new Transformers comic. Earthspark is getting a new video game, and Rise of the Beast is getting a fancy steelbook release coming soon. Today is Friday, June 30th, and this is episode 344 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that's going to be canceling itself for a tax write-off. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Better people than you have tried to cancel me, Charles, and they all have failed. Let's talk Transformers.
Cut his mic. As always,
I cut his mic.
As always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for continuing to help us out. Of course, if you become a Donatreon, you get some perks. You get access to our live shows. So we record the show live every Sunday. You can watch that. We're doing some live streams now. We've just done one recently.
Equals one.
Yes.
Although if you're a Donatreon, you can see live streams every week as we record the show and might hear us redo the intro 4 or 5 times before we get it right.
This week has been terrible.
On both shows.
Shh. And yeah, and you get also, we've got bonus content, we've got merch, lots of good stuff. Speaking of bonus content, if you are a Donatron, you will get access to our We Like Big Bots bonus show, and that's available on our Patreon page featuring Daryl and Dr. Pants. More episodes coming very soon as we can get Dr. Pants in to do some stuff with Daryl. That's Dr. Pants is getting back in the rotation as well. You may have already seen him in a couple episodes, so looking forward to that. You can also get access to our Donatron exclusive early bonus version of our Transformers live play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. So this week on our Patreon page, you have access to Empire of Rust episode 104. Mr. Starscream will see you now. And this is the early version. The regular version of this is coming out next Monday, and that's at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. But you've got this early version right now, so you can get to it on our Patreon page. So all that good stuff. If you become a Donatron, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. Also, last week we had our special live stream, our Rise of the Beast spoiler reaction live stream. Featured us. We already did our review in alt mode last week, but we got our B Plus team on to talk about the movie as well. We had Dr. Pants, Apollo, and Mike. We got our Masterpiece Donatrons to join us, John Force Levengood and Demon Tech 82. Those guys are great, awesome. Thank you guys for joining us in the live stream. We also had some guests. We had Mike Seibert. We had Ant from TFU.info. We had call-in guests. We had people just watching the stream, got a chance to call in. So we had Dan the Man and Goji Prime show up.
We ended the show with DJ Ronan.
Oh, yes, DJ Ronan as well. Yes, can't forget DJ Ronan. He's here. He's here every week. We don't have to talk about that. DJ Ronan knows we love him. He knows I love him. DJ Ronan, you're awesome. Sometimes you're the only ones who's watching this stream, so we can't ever forget about you, even though I did last episode.
Yeah, but it was a fun stream. I really wanted.
It was a blast. I think it was a blast.
Yeah,
I love that we had people connect in, and there was no technical issues. Thank you, StreamYard.
Yep. Yeah, StreamYard is really it's earning its keep. It's worth the subscription price. So good job, StreamYard.
Do you guys get the ads for StreamYard on Facebook or on YouTube?
I don't get ads on YouTube.
Oh, you got YouTube Premium money. I see.
I have not seen StreamYard ads on YouTube, and I am still watching ads, unfortunately.
Okay, I see them all the time. Something from a Dana from StreamYard. So yeah, that's so it's yeah, I get a lot of ads. So it must be either I'm talking about it at home or because I get them all the time. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. StreamYard, we like it.
So yeah, so that live stream was fun. It was about a little bit less than 3 hours. So we talked all about Rise of the Beast and our thoughts for where the movie franchise could go forward from here for Transformers movies. So we're hopefully this is the start of some good things for Transformers movies. You can check out the whole stream on our YouTube channel. You can watch the whole thing and enjoy it, even though you don't get to see it live. And hopefully we'll be doing more of these. So check it out. We'll have a link in the show notes. And lastly, before we get into all the alt mode news, we do want to remind you about our 50% off code at Toy Hacks. This is the last day to use this code for toyhacks.com. This is our June code, Rewind. Use that code Rewind at toyhacks.com today to get 50% off your order. We will have a new code for the month of July. We will announce that in the first episode of July next week. So don't worry about that. It'll be there soon. But for right now,
we might also put it in Discord if you want to join our Discord and get it, earlier. If you have an order that you actually have to make and you want to save that money,
good incentive. So yeah, check out our Discord if you want that up-to-date information. But yeah, right now, last day to use Rewind. Enjoy. We'll have a new code next week. Okay, that's all our updates. So let's jump into some comics news. So first up, Skybound has been teasing all last week the Autobots in the new series, and they were showing a picture and revealing them one by one. Then they had the final image that showed the 5 main Autobots that are going to be, at least for the first issue, the first introduction of the new rebooted Transformers Energon universe. Not Transformers Energon, it's the Energon universe. And you can see these characters are all sporting their pretty G1-ish designs. This is art by Daryl Warren Johnson, who is the artist. Daryl Warren Johnson, the artist and writer on the new Transformers comic, coming October 3rd.
You said it again. It's Daniel.
Oh.
You said Daryl twice.
Oh,
I appreciate it, but it's not Daryl.
Sorry,
it's Daniel.
Daniel Warren Johnson. Daniel Warren Johnson, the artist and writer on Transformers. It's coming October 3rd. It's going to be featuring Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, RC, Ratchet, and Cliffjumper. That is your initial team of Autobots. They also said the Decepticons were coming soon. I think by the time this episode goes up, the Decepticons will already be announced on Twitter. They said they would be showing the Decepticon lineup next week, which for you guys is this week, which for us has not happened yet. So,
can we speculate?
Sure.
Megatron.
Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go with a yin to the yang of Cliffjumper here. Just I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Rumble, another small bot. I'm gonna go with one cassette bot that will also match Soundwave.
Yeah, Rumble will stand in for all the other cassettes.
That's right. We might actually get 2. We might get Laserbeak as well. So
you have, let's see, if Wheeljack and Shockwave would kind of be the scientist equivalent. You have, I don't know. I guess Starscream and Ratchet would. So who would be the RC equivalent?
Yeah.
I mean,
Starscream is the RC equivalent.
Okay, then who would be the Ratchet equivalent?
the Autobot team is very tech heavy. These are not your primary warriors on the Autobot
That's true.
side.
I imagine we're gonna have a bigger cast than this.
Oh yeah.
Overall, but
so the last one, I think, oh, it's a good one. It's such a small Decepticon cast. I want to go with just because it's a fun name, Blitzwing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tough beat down grinder that, he's got no real use other than being a tank and a jet.
He's got no real use other than transforming into his other two modes.
That's right. He's just he's just a big bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is all pointless because you already all know who the Decepticons are when you're watching this.
Reminder: we record on Sundays.
Yeah.
This was fun though. I like speculating. I like just for the shits and giggles of it all. I just like seeing what's what.
All right. Well, yeah, the hype is building. So next we did have and unfortunately didn't get a chance to see this live, but apparently Daniel Warren Johnson does a weekly live stream every Friday, and it's got a name. It's called Friday with D-Dubs. And this was episode 102 of this live stream he does. So he's got his own podcast. I don't know if we can get him on our podcast. He's got his own on YouTube.
This is a YouTube show. It's not a podcast.
Okay.
There's no RSS feed on YouTube.
All right. Okay, you're splitting hairs, but it's my job. But yeah, so I did check this out. We watched this after the fact, so I'll definitely be tuning in next week to see if he's still going to be talking about Transformers and other stuff. But he did have a fair bit of discussion about the Transformers that he's working on. He's very excited. He is a longtime Transformers fan. He talked a little bit about how he's going back to G1 in terms of design, and the narrative is going to be starting off from a very familiar G1 place, but then going in new directions after that. I think he's coming from the space of more of the, like, I think, at least I got the impression that it's more of like trying to take Transformers to the wider comic audience that has not really paid attention to Transformers in a long time. And so he's trying to say, well, everyone kind of remembers G1, so let's hook them in with that and then go from there. So very much I guess back to basics is what it's been characterized as. He did talk a little bit about, like, he is not too familiar with the IDW comics. He's only read All Hail Megatron, but he was asking for recommendations as to other IDW comics to read. I hope he does take those recommendations and
Heart of Darkness
and get no.
Let's hope someone pushes the Wrecker saga on them, and more than meets the eye.
Definitely, all those were watching the comments and the live stream. All those were thrown out there. So, Last Stand of the Wreckers, More Than Meets the Eye, Chaos Theory, definitely the Nick Roche and James Roberts combo is a good place to start. This was kind of also repeated on Twitter, so I think some of the context was lost because people were saying, oh, he did mention Dreamwave. On Twitter, it's reported that he said Dreamwave was the good old days. I don't think he actually said that in the stream. He said back in the day.
Well, so he was at Heroes Con, and one of his pickups he was talking about was, he's like, I bought some Transformer comics, and they were Dreamwave era Transformer comics. And he went over to the artist, I think he said Jai Lee,
Yeah.
And then he made a Pat Lee joke. But yeah, I think he was just reminiscing about comics that he had gotten years ago and enjoyed them, and
Yeah.
he picked them up again. But yeah, I really hope he does get into some of the IDW stuff that was really good, and just to see, because my worry is that the storytelling is gonna regress some from some of the really interesting ideas and concepts that we got in the last era. I mean, even some of the Reckley stuff, the ideas were interesting. It was everything around it, like the pacing and stuff, that was the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we don't regress back to a 2000, what was it, 2004 era writing. I mean, the art I think is gonna be fine, but the writing is what my worry is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we don't have really anything to judge it on at this point, but yeah, I mean, I think at least, and he mentioned this in the stream, that licensed comics is usually a fight for like what the creative people want to do, and then what the license holder wants from the comics. So there is definitely a lot of back and forth with Hasbro. I mean, I know Robert Kirkman isn't doing like he's not doing all the heavy lifting in all these comics, but I think about, like, if I think about what his work in the past, like I read the Invincible series, a couple of years ago. I went through that whole omnibus and looked at all those issues, and that was kind of a Robert Kirkman's take on the superhero universe, like building his own universe from the ground up. And I thought he did some really interesting things there. And I think if he takes, if those sensibilities are like taking an established idea like Transformers as as your starting point, but then building it out into an interesting universe and going into different directions. I mean, that's what we got with IDW, and I think they can do something interesting here. It does concern me a little bit that he has like no familiarity with the IDW comics at all, but I do hope he does look into those and see theirs. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I don't want him to be like aping or copying whatever IDW did. Go in your own direction. But I do think, you should at least have some familiarity with those comics.
There's been lots of concepts that have kind of been added into the greater canon that things like Cyberverse has adopted, so it's more now Transformers lore rather than just something that the comics did.
Right.
And I would just hate for some of those concepts to be overwritten by different things. But one thing I wanted to say, the image that's on screen right now, he said was the cover for issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a pretty nice looking Optimus Prime. He said that he used the head of MP44 as a reference, because he prefers the battle damage head more. So he had this regular head, just not on his figure. So I thought that was cool. And also, he's talked huge about how much he likes the third-party figures. So we'll see how Hasbro appreciates that.
Yeah, I mean, he showed a Magic Square figure on the stream. He's like, this is my one of my favorite ones, and I use that for references too. So
what was it?
Yeah, it was Magic. It was Light of Hope. Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, the Optimus.
Yeah, the Optimus figure.
Cool.
He was talking about how challenging Optimus is to draw when you actually get down to think about it.
One of the things that I saw I mean, I'll let you guys continue. I know you guys are really into this, but I want to.
We actually listened to it.
I read the summary that that
you read the
mentioned
Cliff's Notes, or what is it in Canada? It's not Cliff's Notes. What is it?
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, what is it? I only had one of those things. DJ Ronan's going to write in a second and fix it up for me, but I can't remember what it is. I only bought one of them. Now you fucked me up.
Now you know how it feels.
Is that Hasbro's been on them for drawing the Autobot symbol correctly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, okay, get it right, and then keep drawing it. Don't get lazy and go to the stamp. Please don't go to the stamp.
So he said that, they keep giving him notes and it's a work in progress. So, that's great.
Cole's notes. DJ Rona says it's Cole's notes.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was something funnier than that, but it's not. It's equally lame.
And I just going back to the third party was funny because in the chat, as he was showing them on the stream, in the chat, someone was like, Hasbro's coming after you for showing those third party figures. And he's like, oh yeah. I mean, Hasbro really hasn't said anything, but I hope they don't care if I'm looking at if I'm buying third party figures. So
you can buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was going to say in that is he's a decent, pretty mainline, mainstream artist, and he's a pretty big name. I mean, I've got some books from Marvel. I don't have as many books from DC, but I have a probably 24 Marvel books that have his cover art on them. He's done a lot of work for a while now, and for a lot of different companies. So he's pretty renowned, and to have him working on Transformers is pretty cool. Now, that being said, is how long, I mean, we touched upon this last episode, how long can he keep this up? And one thing that kind of drives me nuts when it comes to Marvel books is the art changes from issue to issue. And if you're a person, I don't do it this way, but if you're a person who reads the books when they come out in trade, then that would drive me nuts. You're going from one page, and the last 15 pages have been drawn a certain way, and then the next 15 pages are a completely different artist, and and then the next 15 are completely different. So that would absolutely drive me bonkers. And if he's been if he's sticking with Transformers and he's going to stick with it for a long time, then that's fantastic. But if he's only planning on drawing the book for like 10 issues, then okay, good, but don't jump in and jump out and jump in and jump out just because you don't have time, because you're also writing the book, right? And then I feel as though we might have been spoiled with IDW when it was at the top of its game with More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise going, because the creative teams stayed the same for years, and we got some really great stuff out of those creative teams, some amazing looking comics, and the creative teams never changed, and the books always look the same. So if you were picking them up as a trade, it from front to back it looked the same, and just I worry about the future of these books, because when you have a large name, like I'm reading Amazing Spider-Man right now, and the main artist on that is John Romita Jr., and he might do the cover, and I'm like, okay, well, here's another John Romita book. Well, no, he didn't do the interiors, and personally, I'm not a huge fan of John Romita Jr., but this is my example. But okay, so he didn't do the interiors. Okay, well, that's fine. Whoever did it, that's their business. They've got this is their issue. Well, next issue is John Romita Jr. Okay, well, now I've got his art in here. Next issue, maybe it is John Romita again. Next issue is not. And that, I just, these are artists at the very top of their game, and they still, they can't put out the monthly book. Actually, Amazing Spider-Man is bi-monthly, so it's a bad example, but you get my point.
Yeah. I mean, and we speculated previously about hoping he has a backlog built up, and he says he's been working on this since December. So I'm hoping that does mean there, a number of issues are already in the can. Although, I mean, with licensed books, you have to go through approvals and stuff, so the process is a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and even IDW, the artists, the regular artists had to take breaks in the like you'd get like a 4 or 5 issue run or story arc, and then you'd have a fill-in artist for like 1 or 2 issues just because it's a grueling pace. I mean, doing a 22 page comic, it's I think it's tough to do that on a monthly schedule, just doing the art. And if you're doing the writing and the art, you're that's a tough pace for one person. So I mean, I mean, the fact that he's got a pretty sizable head start, that's good, but he's going to run out of runway eventually. So maybe he's planning for like a year, a 12 issue arc or something, and then they have plans for what comes after that. But
well, this is something that I did say before, is that Image, and yeah, Skybound is not exactly Image, but Image does have a tendency to go 12 issues and then quit, right? So, it might be something that they're looking to do.
Yeah, and we will know a lot more after San Diego Comic-Con, because this is going to be pretty big there. They're going to have a big panel. He said he's going to be there, so I'd imagine there's going to be a lot more details coming out.
Yep.
At San Diego.
I'm still excited. I'm still looking forward to what the book looks like and what's the story they're going to tell. But like I said, I think we might have been spoiled for the last little while on Transformers, and because the creative teams stayed the same, and I want that back,
I mean, I hope if this is successful, maybe we can get multiple Transformers books running concurrently, like we were at the height of the IDW days. Like, if we got like maybe Transformers Autobots, Transformers Decepticons, or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, I have no doubt that we're going to be buying G.I. Joe books because there'll be Transformers story intertwined with it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's Energon Universe stuff, but I mean just even that, like we've got so we're already on the hook for Void Rivals, Transformers, and Duke and Cobra. Yeah. And then probably Duke and Cobra, those are limited series which will lead into G.I. Joe. So that's already in the pipeline for the next year. But then beyond that, maybe multiple just Transformers books that are in this universe. Like there's maybe come back with spotlights. Maybe there's a like Transformers special missions or something. I don't know. whatever, we'll see. I mean, I would love for that. I think probably this is going to be dependent on sales, on how popular these books are. Maybe Robert Kirkman's Skybound imprint and his name will push this the same way that Void Rivals got a big push as well. So
we've already got like second printing of this first issue.
Yeah,
that's based solely off the hype, but
yeah,
higher numbers than the IDW books had in probably ever. Yeah, I think we're estimating over 100,000.
Yeah,
which for comics these days, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean these are the numbers that Dreamwave pulled in their first run of Transformers comics, and they shot to the top of the charts back in 2002. So yeah, the numbers are crazy. So I mean it's not, I don't know if it's going to be sustainable and keep going that way, but we'll see. Last one point I want to mention, because Daniel Warren Johnson did talk about his colorist, so I guess he's collaborated with him before. So it's Mike Spicer is the colorist on the Transformers comics. So and you can check him out he's all over our social media. So there's his Twitter. He's also on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else. So
Jeremy, click on that picture that Daniel Warren Johnson tweeted out there.
Which one? This one?
Yeah,
That's
click on that. Make it bigger.
Embiggen.
Biggin, yeah. Oh, who we got there? That looks like
is that the Magic Square?
Yeah, that's the Magic Square.
yeah, that's that one. The
That's
Starscream.
MP44.
I think the Starscream is the I don't have the newest masterpiece one, so I'm wondering if
Well,
that's
I don't see a faction symbol. Oh wait, no, yeah, there's one hidden under there.
yeah.
And then that's Masterpiece Megatron.
The
See a little sound wave.
the MP44 behind him. The other one, I think that's the other one.
Yeah, and then over here's a Thundercracker. It looks like.
Yeah. Neat. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, well, that's all our comics news. So let's move on to some media news.
So we're going to start off with the official Transformers the Movie lobby card. And this is Hot Rod by Matt Ferguson. So once again, we're back at Moore Art Gallery and their Instagram page, which has shared images about the new Transformers the Movie lobby card. And this is hand numbered, limited to 186. And it is going to be sold for $25 approximately US, at 19.99 pounds, and it is sized that on an A3 paper, which is approximately 12 by 16. They're going to be available on June the 26th, which is today. So by the time you're hearing this, it is 5 days ago, and you can check them out on the Moore Art Gallery homepage. So take a look at that. It's a pretty good paint job.
You want to describe the picture?
Yeah, it's a Hot Rod, and from the 86 movie, sitting there at the pond with Daniel with the fishing rod.
Fish are jumping today, huh, Dano?
I guess so.
Hey, what's the matter?
I don't know, Hot Rod.
Guess I just missed my dad.
You missed it. Come on, you can tell me.
Yeah.
You missed a line.
Sorry.
Turn in your card. Anyway, next up, we have got officially licensed G1 Autobots poster by Rich Pellegrino. This was the one that was shown on the live stream on Tuesday. This is also going to be sold at the Moore Art Gallery, and this is the Autobots poster. It's got a cartoon variant for 39.99 pounds. Again, it is hand numbered to 75, and this is it's being sold on or being printed on archival grade paper, 300 GSM. It is 18 by 24. There is a Transformers Autobot poster toy variant, and it is for 44.99 pounds, and it is hand numbered to 50 prints. Again, it's the same size and the same paper. And then there is a Autobots poster and hand painted remark, and that is for 100 pounds. And these are hand numbered to 15 prints, and each one of these is remarked at the bottom right corner, and painted and signed by Rich Pellegrino. And if they all come with free shipping, so there you go. They look pretty good. And lastly, we have got Transformers Season 1 Earthspark Part 1, and it's on DVD, and it has been found at U.S. retail. So if you're looking for it, check. Looks like this is a Walmart. Check your Walmarts, and it is also available on Amazon. And it was found in a Walmart in Tennessee for $12.96. So it's not Blu-ray; it's DVD.
All right, next up, Earthspark. We were surprised with an Earthspark video game announcement. This is called Transformers Earthspark Expedition by Outright Games, and pre-orders are live. It is for Xbox, PlayStation, both PS5 and PS4, as well as Nintendo Switch. And this is gonna retail for $39.99. And we have some official images here. I mean, I think it matches the TV show style pretty well. Get back. There we go. So you're playing as Bumblebee, and it looks like fighting just generic Decepticons. I think this is more for younger fans, not hardcore gamers. But I was not expecting an Earthspark video game. And also it's going to be available on PC as well. So
yeah, looking like, I don't know if you got a chance to see the trailer. I looked at the trailer, and I don't know. I don't like the choice of only Bumblebee. I mean, at least the trailer seems to imply that Bumblebee is the only character you're playing as. And it's kind of weird to me, since Earthspark, the emphasis on the Earthspark show was not really on fighting that much, but this is all Bumblebee just fighting a lot of generic cons. So like, where's all the other characters from Earthspark?
Right. I mean, that's one of the things. Earthspark has so many characters in it.
Yeah.
And not even sure if there's going to be human interaction, or introduce the Terrans. Are they going to be involved?
Cutscenes, all about the cutscenes.
I mean, it looks like Mandroid appears to be the villain here. Like, I saw him in the background, but yeah, I mean, they're not. you don't see Twitch or Thrash anywhere in this trailer. Not even Optimus Prime or Megatron. So I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see the game, and hopefully we'll have more information, and I don't know, maybe this will be another crossover with Dr. Pants, who can stream some of the game. Next up, we have another collaboration. This is from Gravistar and Transformers Rise of the Beast. Gravistar are it's described here as futuristic sci-fi chargers, speakers, earbuds, and other accessories. So they are these unique little shape. They're painted up to be Transformer-like, and there's this is a promotional campaign where 2 winners will receive one of the limited edition Alpha 65 fast chargers. So to enter, you have to follow at Gravistar on Instagram, like and share their Instagram post. And then on the Instagram post, I think you need to leave a comment, Optimus Prime or Bumblebee, and then tag 2 friends. And the giveaway ends June 30th. So you have hours left to enter this game. So these chargers have 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port, which is the classic USB style, and they have various plug options for the different types of power outlets across the world. So essentially, if you're used to the Anchor chargers, this looks like it's a competitor to Anchor. So, we're always in need of extra chargers, but these are probably going to be a lot more expensive because they're Transformers branded. And finally, we have information about a steelbook release for the Transformers Rise of the Beast, home release. This is going to be the steelbook release with Dolby Atmos sound. It has that graffiti style poster of Optimus Prime, and it'll be $34.95. And this is the steelbook is 4K UHD. You can also get other versions that are not the steelbook, standard DVD, Blu-ray plus digital, 4K UHD plus digital, or just online streaming. But this does not look like it comes with a digital copy. So in exchange for that, you're getting a metal case that won't line up with any of your other physical media. But it's a great looking case. So if I didn't mention the price, this will be $34.95. So I think that's all I got here.
Yeah, the one poster no one ever saw in the theater. They had all the Optimus Primal posters, no Optimus Prime posters anywhere. Yep. All right. We got one little thing in transforming pop culture.
Well, I just threw this thing in here because I remembered it. And I just watched the show Fubar on Netflix. And it is the new Arnold Schwarzenegger show. It's passable. It's fun. It's kind of like True Lies. If you remember his movie True Lies, it's kind of like that, but it's now a show. And they show some Transformers in the show because there's a character in it that's a huge nerd. And how do you show a huge nerd in a TV show? You give them a house full of action figures. And so there must have been a partnership with Hasbro, because you can see on the screen here, the Ark is featured very prominently a couple times during the season. So it's pretty cool. So, I mean, it's definitely used for comedic purposes at one point. So if you want to take a look at the show, fine. It's watchable and it's kind of fun. But the Transformers figures definitely make an appearance a couple times.
These screenshots are from Ben Yee's website, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And when you started talking, I remembered he had posted about it. So that's cool. I've been meaning to check that out, but since you say it kind of resembles True Lies, I'm definitely going to check that out, because that's a guilty pleasure.
All right, well, that will do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. As always, at the end of every episode, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. These are the folks who continue to support the podcast at our highest level on Patreon, and we really appreciate that. So that's why we give them a mention in every episode. So thank you once again to John 4X11 Good and Demon Tech 82. We really appreciate your support. Thanks for hanging out with us on that live stream last week, and we'll have to do it again very soon.
Hell yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.